Before I start, I want to offer condolences to Bob Weir's family on behalf of the organization. We're going to have a moment of silence for him today. Obviously, a legendary figure from right here in San Francisco, and so sad day, end of an era, and we honor his life today. Who would like to start?
I guess just how you feeling about this Hawks team's a kind of a new look team, no Trae Young, a few new additions. Kind of how do you prepare for that when they're going to have a different roster?
Well, they've played without Trae quite a bit the last couple of years, so we know them, decently. We know how good they are defensively, length everywhere. It's really a game where we have to really keep it simple and make good decisions and keep control of the game, make them score in the half court.
Two questions. When you watched the video the other night, what did you see in that stretch, late third quarter through the fourth, that worked so well that you obviously wish you did more often?
I think there was a sense of urgency at that point that was missing the first half. Finally strung together some stops and made several big plays offensively. So it was just a huge momentum swing to go from, whatever it was, tie game to up 13 heading into the fourth. Really put us in a great position to win the game.
I don't know if you were asked about this the other night, but just watching it at home, we've talked a lot about Gary playing with Steph and how well that works. And usually you're trying to get Steph shots. But the other night it seemed like Gary got 3 or 4 layups off passes from Steph. How much of a weapon threat factor can that be?
That's why they're so good together. Gary's a great screen and roller. He's as good in the dunker spot as anybody. And so that combination, pick and roll, Gary diving, working behind the play, Steph, coming off screens, off the ball once he's gotten rid of it. I mean, they have a great synergy together, and Gary knows how to play with him. But his ability to finish from the dunker spot is a huge part of that.
Hey, Steve, back here. You were saying, leaving a message about Bob Weir. What did he mean to you? Were you a Deadhead at all growing up, or a fan of the Dead music?
I'm not. I wouldn't consider myself a Deadhead, but probably my biggest connection was reading the book Season of the Witch last year and understanding the roots of kind of the history of San Francisco and what a big role that band played here in the Bay Area. And then, of course, watching Bill Walton over the years and seeing his devotion to the band and the connection that they had. And having Luke Walton here on our staff, really getting an understanding of Bill's love for the band and how much the band meant to not only Bill but to so many others. So I think that's the biggest thing, is that just understanding the history of the band from right here in the city and knowing how much that has meant to people in the Bay.
Steve, Will and D'Anthony were part of that group that went on the 13-0 run last night. They've obviously closed a couple games together as well. The numbers speak loudly how well they play together. How do you see them complement each other, and what makes them such a good duo together?
So Will and
D'Anthony.
Yeah. Both two-way players, both capable of dribble, pass, shoot. When guys can play off of each other, and you can put a 5-man combination that possesses that kind of versatility, you tend to be able to make more plays on offense, and both guys are really good defenders on and off the ball. So I like having them out there together.
The Hawks have obviously become a Jalen Johnson-led type of team. Do you remember when you maybe saw him take that year 3, year 4 leap?
Not really. We don't see him a whole lot. But obviously a very talented player who fell in the draft a little bit, but you watch him now and you see the skill, you see the length, the feel for the game, great passer. He's really an impressive player.
Draymond strung together some good offensive games as of late. I think two games in a row with 3+ threes. What's sort of working with for him offensively after maybe a rough month offensively?
I just think he's under control. He's making good decisions, taking care of the ball, taking the shots when they're there, feeling confident. He's in a good place right now, and we got to keep that going for sure.
Kind of a follow-up to the earlier question. It seemed like Steph's connection with GP the other night and all his assists sort of reminded everyone how good a passer he is.
Gary or
No,
Steph.
Steph.
Yeah.
Yeah, which sometimes gets lost. And,
Right.
and creative passing, too. I mean, he made a couple passes to Gary that you didn't see coming. I'm just sort of curious if you can speak about the evolution and the impact of Steph's passing when here's a guy who's obviously the most feared shooter ever.
Right. Well, he's been a good passer for a long time, and he gets blitzed all the time, so he gets a lot of practice on, seeing the blitz, seeing the pocket, seeing what's there, what's not there. I think his turnover percentage is like near a career low, if not at a career low. So I think Steph, I don't know if it's possible for him to do anything quietly, but he is somewhat quietly having a spectacular season. I mean, the way he's shooting it, his health, his ball control, the impact he makes game after game, he's been amazing.
Draymond said you and him had a conversation recently about his turnovers, and that kind of I guess helped settle him. Do you recall that? Was this maybe which game it might have been after?
It was a couple weeks ago.
Yeah.
I don't remember which game, but yeah, it's just it's something that I think we both understand. Just with the league changing and turnovers being much more penalizing now, and it's really his challenge. I always give both Dre and Steph a little more leash on the turnovers than other players because they're our primary playmakers along with Jimmy now, obviously. But the leash can't be too long either. He understands that. I mean, he watches everything. He knows turnovers or dunks and threes with the pace of today's game, with the number of 3-point shooters, and so he's really taken that to heart and doing a great job.